Hi, everyone. My name is Tiffany Patterson. I am a founding member of the Open NASA DataNauts platform. I'm also an ambassador for the Space Apps Hackathon and have also participated in a Space Apps Hackathon myself. I'll share more about my experience later on in this presentation, but for now, I just want to shift your attention to hacking for impact and leveraging this format to maximize your hackathon experience. So, some folks who are joining will be joining for the first time, whether it be just this hackathon or it might be their first hackathon ever. Others have dabbled with hackathons in the past, and some may be veterans. In whichever category you fall into, hacking for impact keeps you focused and allows you to really scope a high value project with a strong story that will resonate with the judges as well as the audience. Think of this as a great way to connect with people who are not necessarily familiar with the subject matter that you're working in. That's going to be very important for them to be able to truly understand the impact that you're working to drive in the space that you're building without having any knowledge. So let's think more about how we can scope impactful ideas when you come across others building in the same space or taking a different approach to what you have also decided to build on. Now, how do you stand out from other folks who are also building in the same space or, taking a different angle on what you are also building? You can do so by really connecting through a unique story that emphasizes how you understand the existing problem, trying your very best with the data that you're able to source to quantify the negative impact and to hypothesize the positive impact your solution could potentially provide. Be sure to really, really hone in on how you are able to really take the audience and as well as those being impacted by the solution that you're building for from one current state to another. Really, really leveraging that inner story can allow people to truly connect with how strong of a solution you have, even if you're just presenting a demo of something that isn't completely built out. It's also important to understand that as you're moving through your story, you have your presentation visually organized and informationally organized to guide people through your story. It's especially important for people who don't have any knowledge within the subject area that you are building in. And don't stress about having a perfect and functioning demo. As I just mentioned, having a strong story that enables people to connect with how great of a solution you're providing to a particular group of people is truly the most important part. Vision is always important. Now, for some of my little story from my experience, I actually had, a partner who left me the day before we were supposed to present. We didn't even have completed code. Our project was nowhere near finished. And I got up on the stage midway through, stopped, and just pretty much admitted to the audience that where I was challenging. I didn't have anything, but this was my vision. And through sharing that vision, despite having nothing to show for it, I may not have won the Space Apps Challenge, but I won an experience that is just lifelong. And I'm so grateful to actually have gone to the NASA headquarters more than once to really brainstorm on an awesome platform amongst other awesome people to make NASA datasets more accessible to data enthusiasts. So again, please stress more about how you can make meaningful connections and a meaningful story that connects to people rather than stressing about the winning prize. So let's talk more about how we can actually maximize data blending to actually tell a strong story. And data blending, for those who don't know, is actually taking data from multiple sources and working to build a cohesive story, leveraging a similar primary key across those data sets. It's very important to understand that you're going to come across a lot of data sets throughout this hackathon that may come from different parts of NASA or different agencies. And that might mean the way in which those data sets were sourced have done so differently, and the techniques used were also different. Keeping in mind this difference, it's also really important to pay attention to the keys in which you're joining those data sets and ensuring that you're able to speak to any inconsistencies in the data sets, any unreliabilities, and always be honest with what you're presenting. It's always nice to know more about why maybe you can't actually tell a story that you would like to tell, rather than trying to falsify a story. So always bear that in mind. Teaming up for impact is so important when you have a team that all agrees and aligns on a single vision for how they can achieve impact. So it's also important to be very humble and leverage your team members' complementary skills so that you can grow through this experience and help others grow as well. How can you learn from your team members? Well, again, you can ensure that all team members align on the why. So why are you guys building what you're building, and why is it important, right? Assess the skill sets to avoid any kind of conflict. You want to ensure that everyone's getting something from out of this experience, whether you're learning. And if you notice someone in the group who's shy and struggling to find their place in the group, it's always nice to reach out and find ways in which you can help them feel part of the group and help them feel part of building for impact. And then again, have fun. These hackathons can get really competitive, but there's nothing great about knowing that despite winning or not winning, you had such an amazing time with the people during the hackathon. And those relationships have led to many more fruitful engagements beyond the hackathons. Think of hackathons as a great way to connect with people and to grow your network beyond this immediate event. This is what building for impact and impact-driven spaces do. They're not just about the now. Strategy is always about the vision, and vision is always about the future. So definitely use this time to think impact-driven, to be impact-driven, and to always embrace the story you have to tell. Thank you guys. And remember, have fun. Bye.